Hello, I'm Mark Ells, Town Manager of Barnstable, and I'm here to provide you with a community update. Lots gone on relevant to the four-phase recovery effort, and we're starting to get back to life as we've known it, or as we know it moving forward. Uh, Certainly, the governor announced last Friday that on Monday the restaurants would reopen indoors with appropriate social distancing, and they're coming forward with other openings. So, more and more we're seeing our community move back toward what we would expect to see here. We've closed a portion of our main street in Hyannis to allow for businesses, not just restaurants, businesses, retail, restaurant, other, to utilize the sidewalk space in front of their businesses. It is impacting travel along Main Street for the summer. It's a pilot program. We're going to take a look at what works well and what we want to modify. And as I said in an earlier communication, if it's certainly a safety issue, we'll modify immediately. But we're going to sit down a couple of times through the summer season, look at what's working, make a decision whether to modify or to hold through the season, and then make decisions for future seasons. If this works well, it could be something that we do on a reoccurring basis. In general, we've received very positive feedback at this point. Certainly, there's always suggestions that can help us do it better, but in general, it's been very positive. Moving toward the weekend, our beaches open on Saturday, the 27th. What does that mean? Well, the gates have been open. We've had some staff at the gates. We were trying to see how a busy weekend like this past Saturday would go by, looking at how many people were coming in. But in general, it went very well. People were taking personal responsibility for trying to socially distance. And when they can't, they would take the appropriate precautions, whether it's a mask or whether it's to abstain from participation. But it went very well for the most part, not just at our beaches, but at our marinas, and our other facilities out on Sandy Neck, et cetera. So that's a good thing. We want to open up all of our facilities. We want our public to use them. We're going to be putting up signs at all of our playgrounds, and and it's the typical sign that you've seen at the other facilities that basically say, exhibit proper social distancing. And if you can't, wear a mask. I mean, it's that simple. So we're gonna be reopening those facilities shortly if they're not already. We're going to our beaches. What I was saying earlier is that we're going to have lifeguards, and we're going to have beach aides, and we're going to have gate attendants that are going to be checking for stickers where stickers are required, or collecting money where fees are required. We have not been doing that. That was a decision, quite honestly, on the part of myself, the town manager, for two reasons. Number one, we wanted people to get back outdoors and enjoy our beaches. We were one of the few communities that kept ours open throughout this entire event. Number two, we didn't want to have a lot of contact early on because of the concerns relevant to COVID-19. And so we thought it was reasonable to hold off on enforcing stickers right through the 27th. On the 27th, they will be enforcing stickers. They will be collecting fees. So I think it's important that you're aware of that. Our lifeguards are not social distancing police. Our lifeguards are there to watch the water and to look out for public safety. I know you'll go to them if you have a concern. That's fine. But they're going to direct that concern to others that we have out there that'll help to keep things organized. But if we proceed the way that I've seen, and I regularly go to our beaches, I think we're in good shape. And I think we'll be in good shape through the summer season. I mean, I do see contrasts. I shared that with my staff. I see people in their bathing suits engaging in what looks like normal summer activities, and I see people with masks and gloves and covered up completely, all at the same beach. So whatever you're most comfortable with. But certainly, we are going to follow the governor's orders, and we are, and it's been working. If you want something more stringent than that, that's not what you're going to find. You're going to find us following the governor's orders. So you may choose to abstain if you're uncomfortable with that. The positive reports we're receiving statewide, countywide, and in town is the number of positives are significantly down. I think we went almost close to 2 weeks without a new case. I think we had one, may have been today or yesterday, in town. So that's a good thing. That's the trend that we wanted to see. We hope that that continues. We monitor it. If we see a significant change, we may have to take a look at how we're moving forward through this recovery. But hopefully, again, we let people get back to life. It's going to be different than what it was last summer season. And hopefully people take personal responsibility and make those types of decisions that I just shared with you. Keep everybody safe, and certainly be patient. You know, be patient with your fellow residents and visitors, staff, because this has been a change, and we are still adapting, and we'll continue to adapt, and the situation will change. We're not in phase 3 of the governor's recovery plan yet. We're still in phase 2. 3 will come probably after 4th of July, and then 4 will happen at some point in the future, unknown yet. So again, please adhere to this. We're coming up on our busiest weekend, 4th of July weekend. And it's critical for success, for our success, your success, to have an enjoyable 4th of July, to continue to exercise personal responsibility, appropriate social distancing, abstaining from activities if you feel as though you're not comfortable with it, and talking with us and sharing with us as we move through this recovery process. So that's what I have for this week. Thank you. And I look forward to speaking with you again.
Hello, my name is Dan Santos. I'm the Director of Public Works for the town of Barnstable. Effective July 1st, 2020, we're implementing some changes at the solid waste transfer station, specifically related to recycling. And the reason is the Board of Health recently voted to eliminate free recycling for Barnstable residents at the transfer station, which has been in place for many years. So the reason they're eliminating free recycling is because recycling is actually very expensive to dispose of. When the Board of Health regulation was put in place that made recycling free, recyclables were a commodity that had a lot of value. Glass, plastic, metal, newspaper, cardboard, all had residual value, and we would get paid for it. So the town figured, we'll accept these recyclables, and this could be a revenue stream to offset costs at the solid waste transfer station. Well, in the past 4 or 5 years, things have changed dramatically in the recycling market. And that is related mostly to China refusing to accept recyclable material from the United States of America. And they were the largest consumers of recyclable material in the world. So that has changed the market for recyclables to the point where very little of it has any value any longer. Corrugated cardboard has a little value, and metal, but glass and plastic and mixed paper all cost us money to dispose of. In fact, it costs more money to dispose of recyclables than it does to dispose of the trash, the solid waste. So these changes were inevitable, and the way we're dealing with that is thus. So effective July 1st, there are several alternatives for disposing of recyclables at the solid waste transfer station. You can either buy an annual sticker for $250, which allows you to utilize the facility as much as you like for trash, recycling, disposing of bulk goods, and some of those are at an additional cost, but you are able to use the facility. If you don't want to purchase an annual sticker, you can purchase a sticker, or not a sticker, you could purchase use per day. So there's two options for per day paying, and that is $10 or per visit, $10 per visit, and you can dispose of up to two 30-gallon bags of trash and as many recyclables as you like. Or you can pay $20 to dispose of up to 5 30-gallon bags of trash and all the recyclables you like. And at the $20 fee, any bags over 5 is $4 a bag. But again, the recyclables is as many as you can bring in. Those are our pay options for utilizing the transfer station. This is effectively a pay-as-you-throw system, which many people are familiar with, particularly if you've come from another town where they have a similar system where you pay for what you use. So we effectively have two options. There's the standard annual sticker fee or the pay-as-you-throw. So if you generate very little trash and recyclables, and you could pay $10 a visit, you could come once a month, and your annual cost would be $120 for the year, which is significantly less than either the full transfer station sticker by less than half, and even more so than the private haulers, which many people utilize, which cost $500 to $800 per year, depending on what service you get. So the other alternative for residents is to use a private hauler, and there's lots of options there. Private haulers will either take your trash and recyclables for one fee, or they take just the trash and you pay for recyclables on a basis such as weekly or bi-weekly or monthly for a different fee. So there's lots of options available for residents to dispose of recycling. What the town's provided in the transfer station and recyclable center is a low-cost option for residents to dispose of their trash and recyclable. It is by far the most cost-effective of the options available to residents. And as I explained in the beginning of this piece, that this is driven primarily due to the recycling market and the high cost of disposing of recyclables at this time. We will keep an eye on the markets, and we may, during the next year, adjust as necessary. We have an annual rate review and rate hearing, and if the recyclable market bounces back and becomes a revenue source for us or an opportunity, then we may adjust the cost of the daily visit and or the annual sticker. So I hope that clarifies some of the questions regarding the transfer station and recycling. And if you have any further questions for us about this, you can contact either the transfer station or the Department of Public Works. Again, this is Dan Santos, the Director of Department of Public Works, and thank you for your time and attention.